Hey, what's going on? It's Drew Harmony, singer, songwriter, producer, and you're watching Who Dat?
More suffocating and aggravating the emotions you feel inside. Cause when you love yourself, you realize that you can break away, break away.
Welcome back to Who Dat. We're here at the Artist Cave Studios in here with Drew Harmony. So I always had to ask people, I know your name is Andrew, but where did your stage name Drew Harmony come from?
Well, obviously, people call me Drew, nickname, I guess, but I wish I had a cool, a cool reason behind it, but it really was just me and my friends making music. And he was like, oh man, we was, making some harmony lines, some backup, backgrounds. And he was like, oh man, that's a good harmony, oh, blah, blah, blah. Drew the Harmony Man. I was like, oh. That's kind of cool, you know what I mean? And I was like, well, a little long, but then I was like, okay, that's kind of the mind.
Yeah.
And then it just became Drew Harmony, and from then it stuck on. People was like, oh, interesting name. And then from then it just started to carry on. And that's how it became Drew Harmony.
So when you were younger, give me some of your influences. Could be Bahamian, could be from anywhere. But give me your influences.
Well, for when I was younger, I started off, like, most singers, they'd be like, oh, I start off in the church, but that's the truth. Singing in the choir and stuff. But one of my first influences was my uncle, Mark Bethel, rest in peace. He was the praise and worship leader at BFM. Right. And one of the things I used to do is my dad's a sound engineer, and he worked the sound in church. So while he's in the back in the sound booth, they would give me like a mic, a cord mic, but with no cord. And I would literally be mimicking him while he's on stage leading praise and worship. And I'll just be singing my heart out, backstage until it's time for children's church, you know what I mean? But he was definitely like my first inspiration. And as I got older, Michael Jackson, of course, that's my guy. And as I became more infused in songwriting and instrumentation and stuff like that, Stevie Wonder, he became like the ultimate inspiration.
Of where you shoot to.
Exactly. So definitely Stevie Wonder, Michael, Paul McCartney, Ja Cure, Morgan Heritage.
I always like to say
Ronnie Butler. Let me call my Bahamian artists too. Bahamian, they were my inspirations. I call them my Bahamian Earth, Wind, and Fire. So
accurate.
Those are my inspirations, definitely.
So what was the moment when you decided, hey, I could actually do this for real? Like singing in church, maybe singing with your friends, when you realized, like, I could actually do this for full time. Not even full time, I could actually pursue this.
I would say, well, crazy thing is, I was in I'm a very extrovert person when it comes to, like, I love to make people smile, give them jokes, all that stuff. So in high school, I was the entertainer person, but when it came to singing, I was shy about it. No one really knew that I could sing until about high school. Grade 12, and I did music class my last year.
You skipped the whole lesson now.
Right? Yeah, I understand.
So you skipped the whole.
Shout out to the Hurricanes. No hate.
You just hiding it. You hiding your whole.
Hiding it, basically. I was a bathroom singer. I used to sing. My sister was singing more, and I used to, hear her sing the R&B songs, and that was just me. But when it came to my talent and my gift, I was like, I don't know,
Yeah.
And through that,
always said that you see the other people, don't see it in yourself.
Exactly. And it's so crazy because when I was younger, when I was living in South Beach, I used to be literally in the middle of the road on Saturday singing my heart out like it's a concert. You know what I mean? But when people was like, Andrew, sing, I was like, I don't know. I don't know, But it was grade 12 when I started to branch out and sing in front of my classmates. And they were like, wait.
Where has been your whole entire...
Why did you tell us you could sing?
I'm pretty sure you could get like way more guys if you were singing.
Exactly. Exactly. You know what I mean? But that's the funny thing is, when I started singing, I saw, the girls' reaction. I was like, oh.
This is what happened.
Oh, this is... Okay, now I have your attention. Okay. So...
It took me 5 years to realize.
Exactly. And then from then, they asked me to sing the graduation song at our...
So this was... And
everything grade 12.
You became...
Exactly.
Everyone realized, like, I could use them for this and this and
exactly. Because I was doing mostly like the producing stuff,
you know. Always behind the scenes with it.
Exactly. Even after school, but I was doing more of the producing stuff with my friends, So not until then, grade 12, they was like, Andrew, you want to sing the graduation song? If the song is John Legend's song, I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I saw the reaction.
Were you nervous going through? Like, were you preparing? Were you singing in the bathroom, like singing? Which John Legend song was it?
Oh man, why am I forgetting?
You've
been together for a while now.
Okay,
I can't. Why am I never remembering this?
Were you in the mirror like practicing? Okay, this is the graduation song. Or were you at the point in your life where I got this?
Actually, it's not even that. Oh man, I'm messing up this whole interview because everything happened in grade 12. Right before then, we went on a drama trip to New York, St. Andrews, right?
Of course. Sock ain't sent me nowhere.
Exactly. We went to a drama trip in New York. Now, me and my friends, we're not in the drama club. We just heard about the trip, and we was like, "Hey, drama teacher, can we come?" We signed up. We joined the drama club like last minute, but we went on the trip, and there was a wax museum in New York. I don't know if you've been to it before. I heard about it.
When I went to some Madame Tussauds or something, or is it a different one?
I'm not exactly sure. I can't.
But I went in one, so let's say it's the same one.
I just remember we went to this wax museum. I don't know what it was, and they had this American Idol set with the wax figures, and I actually sang the John Legend song then, full circle, and I sang what did I sing? Jeebus. Ordinary People. I sang Ordinary People, and when I sang the song, everybody's like, "Oh my goodness, I didn't know." And then this just strange guy just came up. He was with this kid, and he was like, "Listen to me. I don't know who you are, but let me tell you something. You have something. You need to use that. You need to sing. You need to make it happen." And I was like, "Wow, okay." Wow. And that kind of gave me the confidence to sing to my graduation.
And it takes just that one.
That one person. I was like, okay. Stranger, I don't know him. He just told me that. I was like, okay.
That was the Lord.
So I sang at my graduation. I saw, people reacted very well. And then from there, I was like, okay, this is I can do this. This is what I want to do.
So before I go, after high school, let's take me back to like the instrumentation, the producing. Tell me how you got to that side of things.
The crazy thing about it, with the producing thing, came from me. I was tired of singing other people's songs. Literally, it was a Christmas. We went away to my sister. She was in college in Tampa at the moment. We went to go visit her for Christmas. And, I was just singing along. I already figured, what I wanted for Christmas. I want to buy me maybe a game or something, high school, stuff.
Yeah.
PS4, exactly. Game, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And whilst I was there, I sing all the time. Even though I wasn't in public, I just sang all the time. And I was like, man, I'm just tired of singing other people's songs. Like, how do I create my own song? And I went to this thing, which I encourage everybody to go to. It's the #1 university in the world. Have the top professors, have celebrity professors coming in and teaching you great content. It's called YouTube University. YouTube University. That's the best. One of the best places to learn.
I've been enrolled since it came out 2007. I've been enrolled since 2007.
So I went on YouTube University and I typed in how to create your own song or how to produce a song. And one of my biggest influence in terms of producing came up. His name was Ryan Leslie.
That man's a monster.
Exactly.
The man is really good at what he does.
And he was producing in the studio, and I watched. It was in his apartment in Brooklyn. And I was watching that happen, and I'm just like, oh man. That's when I was like, okay, now the producing side, this is a whole nother level.
Open
I can make music for myself. I could do all this from a laptop. Literally that Christmas, I bought me a little cheap preamp. I went to Guitar Center.
So you didn't even get the PS2 anymore? You said,
I scratched the whole game thing.
You're a better man than me because I would have bought the Xbox and the PS3.
I scratched the whole game thing. I say, listen, this is what I think I want for Christmas. Well, I know I want it. I went to Guitar Center. I bought me a little 25 mini keyboard, a little preamp. From then, that was it. I was like, okay. And I started producing myself. This is
still high school, but grade 10, 11.
This is grade 10.
Okay.
This is grade 10.
And instruments, what about that? How much do you play?
So I played the drums. That was my first. I started playing the drums. My dad's a drummer. Okay. So he, shout out to my dad and Mr. Bertrand Bowleg. He was the one who taught me. And I started to play drums from there. And as I got into producing, that's when I switched over to the keys and the piano. So I was like, okay, that kind of fits my voice. Drumming was cool and singing, Sheila
it's kind of rough.
But I felt like the keys were better.
So do you get your John Legend on? Do you play and sing at the same time?
Play John Legend on. Yes, but I'm trying to get better.
Okay.
Like
it's always room for improvement.
Exactly. I wouldn't say I'm John Legend or I'm not there yet, but that's the goal. I want to get to the Stevie level. I want to get to John Legend where I could.
That Alicia Keys.
Exactly. That Brian Mcknight, Alicia Keys. I want to get to that level.
So it's safe to say that that's your favorite
instrument?
Oh, no.
Yeah, piano.
So do you ever have that itch like want to go, or have you fully transitioned to the smooth and calm collective, or do you have that wild side where you have to just go in the room and just freak out in the drums?
On the drums? The thing about the drums is like I left the drums kind of. I would say that because
you broke up with them.
Kind of exactly. You know what I mean? I found a new lover, which is the piano. So like the drums, I can still get busy now.
You look backside. Exactly. You don't go like baby. I gotta go to the.
It ain't that. It was like okay, I'm kind of done with you. I can still play now.
So you had to talk like we grew up together.
Exactly. It was a good ride. You know what I mean? But
I found my true self.
Exactly. And that's kind of how I made that transition. So yeah, that's mainly keys for sure.
Graduating to the Andrews, you had your little production, you had your instrumentation, you sung the song. Now,
Yeah.
where did Drew Harmony become? Okay, I'm actually gonna do this for real. Like I know you go to Berklee.
Yeah, so before I went to Berklee, actually, I went to West Virginia University, and that's where I went to do my business degree. And my parents was like, okay, you want to do music? I actually wanted to go to Berklee from the break. But they were like, okay, you want to do music?
They did that thing, like do this first.
Exactly. And the crazy thing is, my daddy worked. He does production. I've been around the Bahama and the live entertainment area for all my life. But when it was time for me to say, hey, they were like, I'll let you get the business.
So did you think that because sometimes parents do this?
That's all love. That's caring.
They sometimes think that you lose the passion after you go do it, but
exactly.
Did they think that? Did you think they?
No, trust me. One thing about my parents, they support me whatever I do. My dad always taught me to believe in whatever you do because I watched him turn a vision into reality. So it's not they weren't pulling for me. It was more. I think it was concern and care. When you love your child so much, you just want the best for them.
You want to have that something to fall back on.
Exactly. So that's why I went there first. And while I was there, I just knew like this. It's cool, but this is not making me tick. And the longer I've been there, it's just like, But when I was there, that's when I got the name Drew Harmony. Okay. And then afterwards, I said, you know what? I'm going to go to Boston. I'm going to audition. I auditioned, and, I got in, and I'm at Berklee now.
It was the full 4 years of the business?
Yeah, full 4 years. So I finished it.
Did you do any gigs?
Yeah, I did. I find it goes back to the shy thing, and then we'll talk about that because of purpose and all that stuff like that. But it went back to the shy thing. While I was there, I was like, okay, more business. But I met my friend Ellis Lambert. I produced in my dorm. Actually, my dorm room was like
a studio.
Basically, that's those same things I bought for Christmas was in my dorm room. I carried me to school, and we was in there making music almost every day. So that's. So
how cool was that your roommate actually was in the same thing as you?
Well, he's in my room. I met him because he saw me walking down the street with my headphones on singing, and he was like, "Hey man, you sing?" I was like, yeah, I sing. Yeah. He said, "Man, I could hear you from over here, man. We have a gospel choir. You mind joining?" And I met him through the gospel choir. Joined the gospel choir at WVU, and then through that, he was like, "Oh, I produce too and stuff." And then that's how we kind of made. And he plays the keys and all kind of other stuff too.
Yeah, still work together now. Or?
Yeah, still work together. He's in DC right now. I'm in Boston, so kind of tough, but that's still my boy. We still rock together.
So talk to me about Berklee, the legendary Berklee.
Oh man, Berklee is amazing. Berklee is amazing because you get the reality of what's out there, basically. You think you may be good until you get around the other people, you know what I mean? Other great musicians, other great singers, and you're like, okay, I have stuff to work on, Because when I went there, one of the things that inspired me the most, I went to a Prince and Janet Jackson tribute. Oh, that's dope. The first week of school, and this girl, she was just playing the guitar. Amazing. I was like, man, I got to meet her. Talked to her afterwards. Her name was Samoan. She probably don't even remember me now. No? No. That's Sayla. Shout out to Sayla. She's a Bohemian who went to Berklee too.
And man, not to cut you off, but that show she did and went viral. My goodness.
Yes, amazing.
2 for 2000 is really out there.
She is amazing. I just did a cover with her too, actually last semester. But I went there, met with her, and saw her around campus, cool, acquainted. And that next semester, I realized she wasn't around. Because she was popular. And I think that was like a second semester. I think she was like 18, 19. I turned on the TV one day. I went on the Made America show in Philadelphia. Beyonce was performing. Guess who's on stage with Beyonce? Wow. Simone's playing guitar.
So now I know when Made America happens this year in Philly or LA, I expect you behind someone.
Hey, exactly. Or performing myself.
Yeah.
But trust me, that's what shook me and said, okay, this is reality.
Yeah, this is a platform.
This is not just school. One thing about Berklee is you're in the industry when you get into Berklee. You're not just, because obviously she was a student, you know what I mean? But she was just that talented.
She was so young.
Exactly. But she was talented enough to play for the top pop female artists or artists in the world. You know what I mean? So it's once you're there, you're in the industry. You're not just a student. You're gigging, you're performing for your classmates. It's just a whole nother environment. And when I got there, you just know like you belong. It's just like, oh,
you took off your jacket exactly. Like I don't know if you watch Dragon Ball Z, like when Goku to take off his training gear.
Exactly.
Like, the weight is off you.
After he come out the chamber, he's
so you was training you was training with this business degree for so long. It's like this little weight on you. Yuck,
exactly. And the funny thing you say that when I got there, that's when I felt okay. It's time to let my wings go. It's time to, jump off this cliff and really go after my dreams, you know. So
take us, because I think in your classes, but I'm pretty sure Berklee don't have normal classes. Take me through a Berklee, a Monday. Take me through a Monday.
a Monday last semester. Okay, I'll embellish a little bit, but all right. A Monday of Berklee it's different classes, not your normal classes. Now you have your normal classes because it's a 4-year institution and stuff like that, accredited. So you do your math and all that stuff. But Berklee classes, like you'll have an ensemble class at 9 a.m. in the morning, which is your full band. You have to be in ensemble for a certain amount of time. That's where you perform. You meet other band members, guitar. They put you in a group. I'll be in like an R&B ensemble or so, or the Prince and Janet Jackson ensemble. So you do that. You do that for about 2 hours. Got a break, then you go to the next class. It's called air training. You do air training class where they teach you they basically train your air based on solfege and do re mi fa sol, things like that, or the scales, just to get your air trained to play as a live musician or a singer, you know, equipping you with that. Then you have things like a harmony class where you're learning. You have to play the piano at Berklee because through the harmony department, that's where you learn how to, you know, that's one of the main instruments to learn about music, basically. The main instruments you can learn at that and the guitar. But you go there, you learn about harmony, jazz, cadences, and all these things that could help you create music and songwrite. Then you'll go, let's say, another English class or something, and you'll have a songwriting class that day, and that's like a Monday. So it's pretty good. And then that night you may have a gig at, you know, Wally's, like a famous jazz club in Boston or something like that. You play that night, and then next day you do it all over again.
In Boston?
Yeah. Crazy thing is my first performance at Boston was interesting because I went, it was an open mic thing, and the guy he asked me to perform. I was like, cool, awesome. He saw I performed for him. He's like, okay, we're going to save you to the end.
Yeah.
I like you. You know what I mean? We're going to save you to the end.
The main act.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the time ran over so long, but they didn't tell me, right? It was my first performance ever in the United States of America. And they ran over time, but they didn't tell me. He said, all right, it's time for you to go in. I was like, okay, cool. And he told me, he's like, yeah, do like 5 songs. So I practiced, rehearsed. Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
You ready?
By the time I was done by the end of the second song, I'm, you know, talking to the crowd, getting ready. Time's up. It's over. You got to. I was like, wait, what? In front of like the crowd. I was like, and the worst thing about it too is that, you know, when you like those awkward moments, like, I was in shock. He like kind of took the mic a little bit. And I was like, wait, what? All that? He was like, yeah, we don't have enough. The club is about to close down. I was like, oh man. So I was like embarrassing moment. But other than that, that's like my interesting.
At least you know from the job you was good enough that he said you gotta go.
Exactly. So I was like, okay, you know, you count the blessings in that I performed in Boston. You know.
So how often do you gig?
Not that much so far because I have a lot of things going on, whether it be my company, which is Artist Cave International. I started a nonprofit organization called the Music Project. We'll talk about it.
Pause. That's you?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, that's awesome. Keep going.
Okay, and then,
I've been seeing it, and we got to talk.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and then school, so more than likely it will be more of planned performances, not just every weekend playing. Like when you're a drummer and stuff like that, they're more every weekend or so mine was more like every 3 weeks or so. And it's like, okay, we practice, perform on that day. So it's not as like frequent as a regular Berklee every weekend, but it's more like a 3 weeks type thing in between.
So now talk to me about your own original music.
Oh yeah, so this year I'm planning to release a project I'm excited about. I'm working with Bohemian artists, Bohemian producers, songwriters, and I'm probably gonna release it around March. That's the day I'm looking for. But so far I have about 7 songs I'm excited about.
So you're getting like an EP?
Yeah, basically an EP. And I performed 2 of them at a concert I just had.
We talked about this show for like 2 months. I told him he could have it any day except January 6th. It's my father's birthday. And the one day the man chose to have the show was January 6th. So I'm putting on record that I'm upset with him because I missed the show.
Oh, man.
But as you will see at the end of this video, you'll see some of the concert footage and it was really dope.
Yeah, man. So I performed about 2 songs on there, and people really, really liked it. And they were really responsive.
Did you expect that type of response? Or were you a bit nervous?
I don't want to sound like, because you have to believe in yourself. So don't get me wrong. It's not like a cocky thing, but I was like, okay, I worked very hard. So of course you want people to like your stuff. But then there's one particular song called Breakaway that talks about depression and stuff like that and going through hard times. And people really responded well to it. And I was like, kind of overwhelmed that people really liked that song. They was like, man, you have to record that. You ready? I was like, yeah, I got you. So that was kind of like the main thing that kind of, gave me that spark and continues, spark to create my EP.
Do we have a name for the EP yet? Or do we have if you don't have a name, do we have a reaction for the content? Or do you have anything about the EP other than...
I want to release it later, but it's based around this concept about truth versus reality. One of the things
some type of inception going on?
No. It's based on the conversation I had with my dad. And people who know me, who follow me on Facebook, they know I like to post inspirational stuff. And, and he had a conversation with me on one of the last days of 2016 about my career and about people telling you no and all these things. He said, listen, you have, in one hand, you have the truth. In the other hand, you have reality. Sometimes people believe so much in reality, which is like, the things that's happening around them so much that they turn the reality into the truth.
I saw that. I think it was you who posted that.
Yeah. Okay. And I was like, wow. The reality may be that you're defeated, but the truth is that you're an overcomer. Mm-hmm. But which one are you going to believe, the reality or the truth? You know what I mean? So from then I was like, wow, mind blown. The reality may be faced like, it's hard to make it to the top or get a Grammy or be successful. But the truth is that, you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you, or, you're overcoming your ability. You know what I mean? You can do all these things. So it's, that's kind of like the concept of that. But this is going to be a contemporary R&B pop album, a lot of stuff infused into it. So it's inspirational, all that.
A lot of people don't know that you behind the scenes, not just with music, but with video too and photography. Mm-hmm. Will we be getting any music videos for these tracks?
Oh, of course. Mm-hmm. Of course.
Can I put in a request of you, like, just doing the John Legend? Like, I just want a one shot of you playing the Beyonce in the song. That's a request of mine.
Okay, I got you. Okay. But, yeah, for sure, definitely videography. Like I said, YouTube University, started that last year. And, I've been doing a lot of things for people so far. And I really did it for me, to be honest, where I can shoot my content. A lot of covers I have coming out this year that I want to, release. So,
What I've learned is, I learned this from a blogger who lives in, I believe, he's from Virginia. He moved to LA, but he writes a complex. Mm-hmm. And he told me that the YouTube shrunk the world. And that I really believe that YouTube shrunk the world. And
social media,
the world is literally this big now.
Yeah.
Like, we always talk about NASA this big. The world is this big with the internet.
Exactly.
So, like he said earlier, YouTube University, that's the best school. And it's free. Mm-hmm. It's free. You don't have to pay anything to go to YouTube University.
Exactly.
So, where can people, I know you, where they can find your music, it's coming, website, social media.
Yeah, so I'm on True Harmony, everything basically at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. So, yeah. So
you might catch some of his gigs on Snapchat.
Exactly. So, I'm posting all the things. But, yeah, that's kind of everything in a bunch. And it's definitely going to be R&B influence, because I feel like it's missing, you know what I mean? I want to be things like songwriting, like true songwriting. Like one of my biggest inspirations, like Brian Mcknight, you know what I mean? When he wrote a song, it was I felt like amazing.
That's actually other than Barris and Bob, that's what Daddy played the most. Brian Mcknight.
Trust me, Brian Mcknight. I play a song. I was just singing it.
I heard that One Last Cry. Was it you saying?
Oh, that was that's one of my favorites. Yeah. One just the words in that song, my shattered tears, broken heart, are mending on the shelf. I saw you holding hands, standing close to someone else. But now I'm here, all alone, wishing all my feelings were gone. I'll give my best to you. Little fat there, but nothing for me to do but have one less cry before I leave it all behind, before I put you out of my mind for the very last time. I'm living a lie, I guess I'm down. It's my last cry. So like songs like that just inspires me. The songwriting in that just that's where I love songwriting. I love content that's relatable to across all platforms. Like you could be in India, you could be Africa, you could be America, you could be the Bahamas, Trinidad, whatever. But when you hear that song, you can relate to that. So
and just a quick jump here before we go. After Berklee, what is next? What you want to do? You trying to plan to come home, or you trying to tour the world?
So my ultimate dream is to be home, to be honest. Like to be, because the world is so small now, to be able to run an empire and be home at least for half of the year. But I know right now our industry is developing, and what I'm trying to do, especially with the music project and stuff, is help bring it up into analysis. But I know what the reality is, and the reality is you have to go where things are happening.
Agreed.
And that's the
And I've always
LA.
caught between like help bring us up or go to where it is and help myself. It's always a thin line.
Exactly. So it's just a balance. You just have to figure it out. But like I said, my ultimate dream is to still be home and still run an empire and still be influential throughout the world and be one of the top stars in the world and successful artists.
Well, I'm TIMMAY. This is True Harmony. This has been Who Dat.
Yeah.
Try to be everything that you said I would be. Make believe it's happiness that you tend to oversee. Staying up every night, battling what's inside. None of my fears behind me, they're all in plain sight. Suffocating, aggravating, these emotions I feel inside. But I wonder if I just open my eyes and then I'll realize that I can break away from the darkness of the day.